Hey guys, this video is going to be very low quality because this is on my laptop. My camera, I don't have any of the SD cards for it, and then my camera's also dead too, so it's like, this is kind of a spur of the moment video because I'm like, should I do this? Should I not? So I'm finally like in a good spot, I think, anyways, to tell you guys what's been going on. Um, so basically, this video is going to be like about what's been going on for the past few months. Why haven't Duncan and I been posting anything? Um, where am I at right now? And why Duncan isn't with me right in this video. So, we're going to start all the way back before the proposal because, like, before the proposal, we still weren't really like posting really any videos that much. We would post like a few, but that would be it. And so the reason why we weren't really posting videos around that time, excuse me, was because I was moving apartments. My roommates and I, we did not get along or anything, so I moved apartments. Um, so it was just not a very good environment or anything for me to be in. So I was like, you know what, just go to have my own space. So I moved into a studio, and then the proposal came. So you guys saw that video. Duncan proposed to me. That was like a spur in the moment, like he didn't know that he was doing it that day. Like I didn't know that he was doing it that day. We were like literally making a stupid video of whatever we came up with, honestly. And so after the proposal, like after school got out, it was like a few weeks after school got out, we just got, him and I both got new jobs at Chick-fil-A. So we were working there for, I want to say a good month. I want to say a good month. No, yeah, between a few weeks and a good month. Like somewhere in there. Like Duncan came up to me one day and he was like, "Your boobs have gotten bigger." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Your boobs have gotten bigger." He goes, "Are you pregnant?" And I looked at him and I was like, "No, like how could I be pregnant? Like no, like, you know, no, I can't be pregnant." Like I just kept like denying it. So then, like that's, it was either the next day or the same day. This was like May, March, April. Yeah, May. It was in May. And so, like, his mom and I, we were having like so much. March, April. Yes, it was in May. I'm sorry, I'm like trying to like, ah. But, anyways, so his mom and I, we were having car troubles. And so, one of the days, like, we were like trying to fix everything of this car trouble that we were having. So his mom and I, we were like in a car together, and I was like asking her about her pregnancies, like what she went through, and like if any of them were a surprise, if they were planned, all this other stuff. And so, like, she looked at me and she goes, "Do you think you're pregnant?" And like my face kind of turned red, and I was like, "I don't think so." And so, like, because I didn't think I was pregnant. So then, like, later that day, I was like very paranoid and very like, "Oh my gosh, like, I haven't had my period." Like, I just started like thinking of everything. I'm like, "I haven't had a period in a while. Like, what's going on?" Well, then, like, that same night, I went out to the store, bought a few pregnancy tests, and like the first few were like very, 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 very faint. Like, I didn't want to believe them. And then like they kept on like getting darker, and I'm like, crap. And like I seriously took like 4 or 5 pregnancy tests, and like they were all legitimately positive. And so I'm like, okay, like, cool. Like Duncan and I, we were like happy and whatnot, but I was very, very nervous of like to how to tell his parents and how to tell my parents. Because, you know, my parents are in Michigan, we can't do it face to face. And then his parents are here in New York, like an hour away from us and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, so what are we gonna do? Like, are we gonna wait? What's our plan? So then I didn't want to wait. Duncan did. But I'm like, Duncan, like, I can't keep a secret. Like, I can't, I have to tell somebody because I was just so excited. And so we told my mom and my stepdad, or yeah, my mom and my stepdad and my little brother. And like, we did it like in this note where it was like, dear grandma, dear grandpa, dear uncle, like, I know you guys don't know me, but I hope you guys get to know me. You know, like, trying to put it in like the baby's point of view, the letter to from the baby to them. And so I thought it was cute. My mom was like wanting to literally kill us. And so she was like, all she said to me that night was, congratulations, good night. And then hangs up the phone. And so I was like, well, that went a lot better than what I was expecting it to be. So then we told his parents, I think that following or like the next weekend, it was like one of the weekends when we went to church. So they kind of like figured it out because Duncan, he decided, like, we were like talking about baby names and stuff like already. And so like we wrote down some of like the baby names and whatnot, and Duncan accidentally put the notes, like, he mixed up because there was like several notes that weekend because usually we like write notes in church and whatnot, and so he mixed up some of the notes and he put the baby's name notes in his mom's purse, and his mom found them and she was like, they kind of like expected it, but how we told them was like, we put on like we didn't want like the kids to find out, like Duncan's younger siblings and stuff to find out. So like we were all in their bedroom, in his parents' bedroom, and we I wrote like a little poem for his mom, and then we got his dad like a number one grandpa cup mug. So we did that, and like they were like, listen, like, you need to go talk to the pastor to see what you guys are going to do about this, like, what's your options here. And so, you know, we're like all emotional. I'm crying. Like, his parents are trying really hard, like not to go off on us and whatnot. And so then, like, we went and talked to the pastor, and I kept on telling myself, I'm like, if we're gonna have this baby, I said, I want to get married beforehand, like before the baby's even born. I said, I just want it, you know, not really done and over with, but like more of like, I don't want, I wanted the baby to be like knowing that we did this for God and not for, that's how I put it. Everybody thinks that I did it for the baby. That's not true. Like, yes, the baby, you know, we were engaged. We were planning on like waiting like between 2 and 4 years to get married. And so, you know, the baby came and I'm like, nope, I want to get married because of God, because that's how God wanted it. God wanted it to be marriage, then a baby, but we've are conceived a baby and we're about to get married. Like, so I just wanted the marriage to be first. So we planned on August 11th for that. So, you know, we're like going through car issues, we're going through a wedding, we're like trying to see where the heck to live because we couldn't live at like the place that Duncan and I we were living at right at that moment. And so like just all of this, and then I was away for like a week to Alabama with a few of my coworkers, and so it was just one stress after another, and like I was just putting so much on myself, on the baby. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like, so then, um, one night, this is going to get like really, really, really gory. Like, I don't know how else to like explain it. If you ever experienced this, like, I am very, very sorry. Like, it was so hard on me. Like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to think. Like, I seriously cried my whole entire pregnancy. Like, I was all over the place. Like, I seriously gained most of my weight within a month. And I was like almost 2 months pregnant when this next thing happened. But like, I seriously gained, I lost so much muscle and like gained so much within like my first month. Oh, that scared me. And so, like, what else? Okay, so then one night I woke up at like 6 a.m. to like, no joke, drenched in blood, like from head to toe. And like, it was like in my hair, on the bottom of my feet, like, it was everywhere. Like, I don't mean to like sound really gory or anything, and I don't mean to sound disgusting, but like, to me in that moment, I was like, oh my God, like, this is a miscarriage. Like to me, I knew it. And so like, I didn't know how to react. Like, I didn't know what to say. And I'm like, is this real? Like, am I imagining this? So I seriously like went and took a shower. Like, it seriously, like, I was crying in the shower. And like, I woke up Duncan. And I was like, Duncan, like, I think I just had a miscarriage. I said, I woke up in blood. I just got out of the shower. Like, I think the baby's gone. So he's like, no, 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 no. Like, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. And so I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Like, we'll just need a doctor's visit soon. He's like, okay, we'll figure it all out. Well, then, like, I want to say a week or two later, it was a week later. I want to say it was a week later. My mom came into town to go wedding dress shopping with me. So, lots of attentions are high. Like, I'm pregnant, I'm getting married. Like, my mom isn't here to be like controlling everything and like trying to like help me and like physically, emotionally, like everything. And my mom's like the type of person that she doesn't know how to help over the phone. Like, she has to be like there face to face helping you. And so, like, at the time, I'm like frustrated, my emotions are high, like, my hormones are everywhere. And so, I seriously didn't, like, Duncan and I, we were the only two that knew about it, about me bleeding. And so, I didn't tell my mom. And so, I like booked a doctor's office or a doctor's visit when my mom was in town. And then when my mom left, like, I had the day off this day. So, my mom left on a Sunday to go back to Michigan. And so then, like, that following week, that Friday, I had off of work. So I, like, made my doctor's appointment then. And so I kind of expected the doctor to tell us that we had a miscarriage. But so this is like the emotional part. So we go into the doctor's, office, and we're like, okay, you know, this is it. Like, we're to find out if we're actually parents or if like something happened. And so Duncan came into the room with me. I wanted him to come into the room with me, but like, he I went and got my weight and my height checked, and then they also did a urine test. So Duncan didn't know that they took a urine test. And so the doctor comes in, and I could tell right away that, I had a miscarriage. And so the doctor comes in, he goes, I'm sorry, the test came out negative. And so I told him, I was like, listen, this is what happened. Like, was, that I took like 4 or 5 tests. They were all positive. A few weeks ago, a week or two ago, I like bled from head to toe. And he goes, this was a natural miscarriage. He goes, you did experience a miscarriage. It was nothing that you could have done. You know, it was how he explained it was that two DNA cells didn't connect. And when two DNA cells don't connect, then like everything ends. Like everything just cancels out. So then like Duncan and I, we got out and whatnot of there, and he's like, it's okay, it's okay. You know, like he didn't know what to say. And so we get back to the apartment and he like looks at me and like I'm like in tears and he goes, Megan, we still have the baby. And so I looked him in his eyes and I like started crying so much. And I said, Duncan, we don't have the baby. The baby's not in me anymore. Like I'm like bawling so much at this point. And like I'm like shaking because I'm like, I don't know what to do in this situation. I don't know how to react. Like I didn't know how to handle anything. And so like, I posted on Facebook about it. I'm like, listen, like I lost a blessing today, and just so then I got like a few phone calls from my family. Or no, I told my parents first. Like I called my parents and I was like, listen, like I had a miscarriage, and my mom was like, I'm sorry, like I'm here for you and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And like we hung up, and like I call my stepdad and like I tell him about it. He was like, well, that's not good. And like he was like so like emotionless. Like he didn't have like any emotion to him. Was, yeah, he didn't have much emotion to it, but it's okay. He's a guy. It's okay. But no, this is a very serious topic. Like, so, but anyways, so I told my parents, and then like I seriously had like 10 different phone calls from 10 different people, and like they were just like yelling at me. They were like, Megan, you need to break up with him. You just need to get out of this situation. And like nobody between like me being engaged to like this point in my life, um my family, like they have told me like several times, they're like, no, 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 like you need to break up with him. But like they never told me why. They never like I would ask them, I'd be like, listen, like why don't you like him? Like what's wrong? I said, I just need to know. And so like nobody would talk to me, nobody would tell me what was going on. And so like again, they were doing that same thing. You just need to break up with him, you need to break up with him. I'm like, no, I'm not breaking up with him. I said, I love him. So then um my mom called, and we were still planning on getting married. And so my mom called, and she like her and I we got into like this huge fight. Like it's like literally probably the biggest fight my mom and I have ever been into. And so a lot of things happened. I'm not going to go into detail about it because it's done and over with. But so my mom and I we got into an argument. We didn't talk for literally a month. And so this was in June. This was June. So yeah, I was, every which way, I was like, I can't believe this. It hurt me the most because that day, nobody cared. Nobody cared on how I truly felt. And so that was the day where I wanted to like cry about the baby, like cry about like that the baby won't be here with me. And I'm trying really hard not to cry right now. But so then like after that, I became like really depressed, and like I seriously I couldn't look at any kids, I couldn't look at any babies. I like was so mad and so frustrated and like so like sad and depressed, and like I hardly slept. And so after that, I was telling Duncan, I'm like, listen, my grandma kept on like calling me and being like, listen, like great grandma's not doing good. And everybody knows like my great grandma's like my best friend. Like my great grandma's everything to me. And so my great grandma wasn't doing well or anything at the moment. And so my grandma just kept on like calling me and she's like, Megan, you need to come home. Like great grandma's not doing good. Like you need to come home. And so I was telling Duncan, I was like, listen, I said, I feel like I need to go home. I said, I feel like I need a year, a break, a year apart from everything. Because at this time, I was trying to figure out whether or not to expand on my photography business or go into teaching. I'm doing teaching, by the way. So I, I was like, you know what, Duncan, like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, Megan, go back home. Go take a year off. You and I will be fine. We will make it. We'll get married and everything. We'll make it. We'll figure it out. I'm like, okay. So then I pack up my stuff and I called my mom, talked to her for the first time in a month, and I was like, Mom, can you pick me up? And she said, yep. So they came and picked me up. And then this part, I'm not going into details because what is done is done. You know, I was hurt from it, Duncan was hurt from it, and I'm not going to sit here and bash because that's not who I am. But let's just say that he went to VBS and then he came to Michigan, or he came over to Muskegon, and him and I, like, we were like, what do we do? How should we break up? Should we be friends? Should we stay together? I wanted to stay together, like, so much. You know, he was like the love of my life and whatnot. But him and I both agreed we would be friends and like talk and whatnot. But after he left, both him and I like snapped and we haven't talked to each other lately. And I miss that. Like I miss him being my best friend. Because most of you guys know, like, he was literally my best friend. Like him and I hung out every single day. So, I miss that. Like I miss having that. Having someone that will like, that I could call and be like, hey, I'm coming over. And like they'll be okay with that. Like, I don't know. I just miss that. But I am back in Michigan. Duncan and I were like on okay terms. It's not the greatest, but it's okay. Um, I plan on getting my teaching degree, but I plan on staying in Michigan until like something happens, like a job opportunity opens up or something. So that has been mine and Duncan's life in the past few months. But I hope you guys enjoyed our videos, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching us grow, and I hope for the best for everyone. Bye guys.